Hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to fix an antique car clock, and along the way we'll learn how these guys actually work as well as how to use a multimeter. So in order to get to things I need to open it up. Now the clock does run off of electricity, and so in order for it to work you need to have a complete circuit. So right here would be, say, your positive end, and essentially you plug in your battery or whatever you're working with, and the electricity would flow from this end. Inside here there's a little bit of a wire. See if I can get it. It's kind of hard to see. This guy here, through that box to this point, over here to the other point, and then out through this side here. So when these contacts are closed, these contacts here, which I'll just move, that will complete the circuit. And so the key component of these clocks is actually this box right here. Now without going into too much detail on this, this is a solenoid, and so when current flows through the solenoid, that will create a magnetic field. And this magnetic field will actually push or pull in this stationary point here, this guy, when it gets created, and it will actually push that in and push that guy out like that, winding it up. So here's our multimeter, and what I'm going to want to do is actually set it to resistance, to measure resistance, so that I can figure out if where there's a break in the circuit. So right now you can see that the dial is way over here on this side when I have the two probes not connected to each other. But when I bring them in contact, you'll see the needle moves over to the other side, to 0. So that tells me that the circuit is complete, and so I can use the same principle on this clock to figure out where the circuit break is. So since I said that this metal piece here would be the end of the circuit, the negative part, negative end, so let's connect them, and as you can see, that meter does not move. But if I do this and bring it into contact, there it moves. So I've gone and identified the problem being that these contacts are not making a proper connection. So the next step I'm going to have to do, now that I know those points are fairly clean, is to bend this guy here on our moving point ever so slightly inward, because what we're talking about here is literally millimeters of difference preventing this clock from working. So now that I've gone ahead and adjusted that point, when these two come together, you should see the multimeter move here in a second. So it winds down, and there it goes. So that would complete the circuit, and then your clock would function. So here's the clock back in the car, and as you can see, it's working. And here in a few seconds, you should be able to hear our handiwork. There it goes. You should have heard it go clunk. So now we have a working clock. Thanks for watching.